Okay, now there's 4 screws. One there, one there, one there, one there. And that mounts the amplifier to the box. I'm going to go ahead and take those screws out. There'll be a small speaker wire coming out of the side of the amp. I should address that real quick. You'll see it right there. I don't know if there's a good view on that. And what we're going to do is, there's a small clip. We're just going to press on the clip there. And you're going to pull up. And that's it. And that's the wire that's going to your single 6-inch woofer there. Alright, now that that's out of the way, we can get to the screw that's right behind that wire. Alright, then we have this one here. The white unit on the left there, the other unit there, that's the PS38. I will be making a video of that next. So I'm just keeping it in place with my thumb there, holding the amplifier. And this unit is out. There's your amplifier. A couple of large capacitors. And a nice decent heatsink there. Alright, we'll put that down, we'll spin this around. And now for the woofer there. We got the screws, 4 screws for the grill. It might actually be holding the woofer in place too. We'll find out. Power tools? Pfft, yeah, sure. I'm old school, baby. No, I do have power tools. I left them at the shop. Mainly Makita. I like Makita. Milwaukee's good too. I think I'm a Makita guy. Alright, let's see what happens here. So, it looks like the grill is being held on with those 4 screws, which were also holding on the woofer there. So everything is incorporated in one. So if we pull on this, it should come loose. There it goes. Nice! Alrighty, let's go ahead and I can cut that wire right there. So this unit only houses a single dusty 6-inch woofer. I actually like these speakers a lot. They look like they have huge excursion, so there's a lot of play that they can travel, and obviously more travel means more air volume. More air volume means more bass. They're not their top of the line speakers, obviously, because you can tell real quick that the basket is just pressed steel. I know had a YouTuber ask me on other videos how to desolder the speaker wire. Well, I'm going to make it very quick and easy. They're not soldered on there. They're twisted on there, and a lot of people actually assume that they're soldered on there because it looks so nice and neat. There's actually a twisting power tool that ends up twisting them together, but I'll show you how to take them off. It's actually fairly easy. Alright, so if you want to zoom in to the terminal there, lift it up. You're going to make it more difficult on me. Alright, so what you're going to do without damaging the terminal, you're going to grab it and you're going to untwist it. And it should be fairly easy to untwist this wire. Just be a little delicate with it. It just comes right off. Look at that, no damage at all. And we'll go do the positive terminal. So this technique has actually been used for many years by many different manufacturers. The idea is to save a ton of money, and if you're not soldering and you're not purchasing solder, what they do is they take the wire, they strip it, the wire gets tinned in a soldering pot, so it just gets dipped in the soldering pot. And they can do thousands upon thousands at the same time, and then they put the wire into a power twist tool and gets on there, twist it on, and that's how they put the wires on to the terminals. They don't have to use any spades or butt connectors or anything like that. Just tinned wire and you're done. Quick, fast, and easy. Just for the heck of it, let's find out what the impedance is on this little woofer here. Alright, so got my old school fluke, and let's find out what we're getting. .5 ohms. So I would say it really depends on what unit you have. You might be able to use these for cars. You might be able, depending on how many you end up using, you might be able to do something custom in a house. But be very careful, because traditionally your ohms on home receivers are 8 ohm, and your car audio equipment is 4 ohm or less. That being said, you can use 8 ohm products in a car and just be just fine, causing absolutely no stress whatsoever on the car amplifier. However, you cannot do the same. So you can't pull a car woofer out and try to use it at home. It'll stress and fry the amplifier rather quickly. Now, I want to show you guys something real quick. So this was pulled out right now from this unit. I have here, looks pretty much identical. You could see just by looking at it that you have a little bit more excursion. Can you get, is that a good view right now? Let me see. Oh, no, it's not. Let me move this down. Right there. So you can see that the difference there. So this one would actually have more excursion than this woofer would. This woofer comes in pairs right here out of the PS series units. And if we check resistance on this, .5 ohms. Now, you end up using something like this and say, okay, well, I've got, I don't know, a small box and you want to use it at home. You hook it up to your 8 ohm receiver, you're going to fry it real quick. And that might not be a good idea. So there are a number of different ways to run different little woofers or subwoofers or any of the woofers and get different amount of resistance depending on how many woofers you have. Alright, so that being said, I pulled these bad boys out of different BOSE units. I really like these woofers a whole lot, and you can do more with these because I recall that these are actually putting out, I think, 4 ohms or 4.5, 6.6. So you can do much more with these than the ones we just pulled out. Anyway, most of you're actually going to be surprised that the majority of BOSE units don't use butyl rubber surround. They use foam surround. They use a paper cone. A lot of them use a paper dust cover, and they end up using pressed steel for their basket. Nonetheless, they sound decent and they sound pretty good. I'm not going to say that they sound the best compared to other units, but they get the job done for what you're paying. They do a really good job in getting the correct cubic dimensions for the woofers, so you can get the maximum out of every one of these woofers in the correct housing. That's what BOSE does, and they do a really good job on that. They do a great job on marketing, and they have their engineers sit there and do an awesome job on laying the things out on where they're supposed to be laid out in the house, so you get the optimum amount of sound out of everything. Alright, so I think we are done. I'm gonna end up snagging this cool BOSE logo there, that emblem there. And I think we will call this one a day, and I will talk to you guys later, very soon. Have a good one, and bye.